What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing out there today? See if I can make less noise here. I do gotta plug this phone in somehow. And is it charging? Sorry, bear with me. Think that might actually be charging. All right. Let's make a few minor adjustments here. Can't leave that brightness all the way up or that thing will overheat. I was jumping on for a few minutes here. We're sitting here waiting on we're waiting on a diagnosis on a reefer trailer. Waiting on a broken reefer trailer to get diagnosed. It's doing that thing it was doing about a month ago. It just won't turn on. It won't do anything. I ran a frozen food load in it, delivered that this morning, turned it off, opened the doors, let it get cool enough where I could clean it out, or warm enough where I could clean it out. Got a great load that's supposed to be picked up at 2 o'clock. It's going from literally a 1,200-mile load. It's got a 5-mile deadhead on it. So I do not want to lose it because this time of day, it could be a pain in the butt trying to find something else out of North Dakota. So I don't know. I'm hoping it's like a blown fuse or something. The way Thermo King's got all that put together, I can't even figure out where any of it's at. You got to take off like a whole side panel. It's not like a carrier, where you can open it up from the side. You can only open the front, and then everything else got to be removed. So I can't really get up there to get to anything. So I brought it over here to Thermo King. They're going to look at it again. I don't know. The guy in Chicago told me it was loose battery cables, but it wasn't loose battery cables. I tightened them down before I got there. But yeah, I don't know. I took the battery cables off before I brought it over here. I took the battery cables off and cleaned them real good, filed them down, where it was good shiny metal against shiny metal. Put them back on. That didn't do anything. I put jumper cables on it for a minute because I thought, hey, just, out of the blue, it could be dead. It was a frozen food load. So, I don't know. Maybe that cold temperature up in the front, I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. But if they get it diagnosed quick and it's something simple, hopefully it's a fuse or just something like that. I can fix a fuse or change out a fuse or something. And I don't know. I'm not happy about it though, because I got a load that's going to Tennessee from up here that's paying like $3 a mile, and I definitely don't want to lose that because I got no deadhead in it, So what's everybody else up to? 10 people in the house. I appreciate everybody coming through, checking it out. Put out a video this morning. If you haven't watched that, you should check that out sometime today as well. And if you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe. Think about hitting that like button. As always, let's see here. We got Mile High 1010 in the house. First in the house. Thank you. The Guru, Cave Save. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, Cave Save? Don's in the house. Hello, Don. Mile High 1010. Yeah, it's a bummer, man. Reefer units give you a pain in the butt a lot of times. K-Save is heading home. Frozen load, Tulsa, Oklahoma to Orlando, 3,800. Digging it. Yeah, that's a good run right there, man. Rates are doing good right now. You got to put in that work right now. It's like when dinner's on the table, you got to eat. It's just the way it is. If you let it sit there and get cold, it's not going to be as good. I can promise you. But yeah, this was like a really good load. I couldn't really complain about it too much. I mean, it's heavy. It's like, 40,000 pounds. But other than that, there's nothing to complain about. It's a 5 mile deadhead. It was paying like $3 a mile. It's going like, it finaled out like 50 miles from my mom's house. It was going by my house. So I was going to pick it up, stay at the house tonight, get up, drive it down, try to go eat Sunday dinner at my mom's. I had this whole thing laid out in my head. And I've already been to the shipper. I've already checked in. And, I went to pre-cool the trailer. And I hit the button. I just hit the button as I got out and walked by. I didn't even look to see if it like turned on. I just hit the button. And because the temp was already set. My last load was the same temp as this, frozen food load. So, yeah, punched the button, walked in, came back, and I was like, hey, that reefer unit's not running. And I thought, well, maybe I didn't, maybe I hit the off button. So I hit the on button, nothing. And last time I did that, I rode it down the road and it came, I stopped and hit the button and it came on. So I did that. I rode it down the road a little bit. Nothing happened. Yeah, so then ended up over here. I took it to another place to get it worked on. And they said they couldn't do nothing with it. So I called over here and they said, yeah, bring it in. We'll diagnose it at least. So that's where we're at. So let's see here. Yeah, that's a pretty good load there, K-Save. Getting to go home, especially, man. Anytime you make money going to the house. Paul Harris says, Paul Harris in the house, good to see you. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. I'm trying to watch for the service manager to come back. He left and went to lunch, and I don't think he told anybody to check that trailer. So, yeah. I was watching This Guy Trucks the other day, and he was complaining about how people that are like in the trucking industry but not trucking companies, like service centers and things like that, like how do they go home for the weekend? Like trucking does not stop. And I think about that with like this place. How do they not have a staggered lunch break? Like how is there not a mechanic on duty at all times? But no, they all just take lunch at the same time. Everybody leaves. It's pretty frustrating. But yeah, appreciate you coming in, Paul. Good to see you. It's going to be a little quick, short live. I just wanted to hop on and see what everybody was doing today. Just check in with everybody. Lone Star Transport's in the house. What's up, Lone Star? Thanks for stopping by. Paul Harris says, you have to have a degree in IT to work on trucks. Now it's reefers. Yeah, I don't know. It's something electrical or it's electrical in my opinion, just from what I know, because it was working fine this morning. It was cooling perfect. I had it set at -10, and barring a defrost, the thing was like solid right in the 11 to 9 degree range. It was all over 10, the whole -10 the whole time. And even when it defrosted, it bounced back real good. So the cooling part of it, I got no issue with. It's just, it won't start. And it's like, come on, man. I got a frozen food load I need to pick up. It pays good, it's going like where I want to go. Tennessee's doing pretty good right now. I think I can get a load out of Tennessee with some money on it. But yeah, Swamp Girl in the house. What's up, Swamp Girl? Swamp Girl says, hey, not much. Chilling. What are you up to? She says, getting a load from Bedford, Illinois to Houston, Texas for tomorrow. Swamp Girl, 2,700. Yeah, no doubt. Rates are looking good right now. I say run it. Let's see here. I don't know what the eyeballs and the thumb down, excuse you, means. Jilliant, not sure. I'm probably missing something pretty obvious, but that's the name of the game. So I put out a post this morning. I took a picture of my fuel thing, People see, oh, my burp. Yeah, I got loud, gross burps. So do apologize for that. I was at kind of a fancy restaurant the other day. Not like reservation fancy, but like, no flip flops. Type of place, and yeah, I mean, it was a pretty nice place. Like, pretty nice place. I was way underdressed. Uh, the old lady always looks like, $1 million all dressed up in a dress. And I think that's the only reason they let me in is they think I'm like her, mentally challenged younger, or mentally challenged brother. So they let me in with her. But, man, I ripped a burp in the middle of that place the other day. She gave me a look like she was fixing to like murder me. So, yeah, I got those burps. I got those burps. Swamp Girl's picking up a load of Jello. All right, yeah, that should be a pretty good load going to Houston. Get it while you can. Good numbers out here. But I had somebody on the video this morning, say that they don't believe, or I don't know if they didn't believe or they didn't agree with the fuel mileage that I average. And, they explained to me, you can't say it's the truck because he's driven every kind of truck, and no truck gets 8 point whatever miles per gallon. It just can't be done according to this guy. But my thing is, how can you say it's not the truck? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm nothing special. I don't do anything in this truck that's amazing, okay? I drive slow, and it's the truck's made to do it. That's just the thing. I will tell you this: if I was going to get a Freightliner, I would not get a Freightliner that's not a Cascadia Evolution. Or excuse me, I wouldn't get a Cascadia. I would still get like the Coronado. I'd still, I'm not saying this is the only kind of truck, but if you're going to get a Cascadia Evolution, and preferably, actually for me, there is nothing. It's Evolution I. That's the only way to go. Evolution I. If it doesn't have the NavTech cruise control, I don't want it. That cruise control is probably worth a half a mile a gallon. It really is. It's that good at controlling your speed for you. It's not just a set speed. It doesn't, like, if you set it on 65, it doesn't just hold 65. It acknowledges when you're going up over a rolling hill, not to try to floor it to get up that rolling hill. It'll let it coast and lose a little speed up the hill. Then it'll catch it on the downside. It's like I would drive it. So for those fuel mileage numbers, I'm not doing anything special really. The truck is doing more of it than I am. The only thing I do is consistent speeds, and I don't drive fast, and I try not to idle much. I mean, I'm idling right now, but typically I'll let it idle for no more than an hour at a time, and I'll shut it off and just, it holds the cool pretty good, especially if you close the curtains. It really holds cool on a warm day. It does a good job. It's a white truck too. That helps. It reflects the sun. It doesn't absorb all that energy. But the guy's saying that you can't say it's the truck. He said you can't say it's the truck because I've driven Internationals, I've driven Volvos, I've driven Freightliners, I've driven them all. It can't be the truck. And my first thought was, okay, so if I go buy a GMC Brigadier and I stretch it out to 300 inch wheelbase. So if I go buy a GMC Brigadier, I stretch the wheelbase out. Let's say the engine's got 1 million miles on it. Hey, let's just say 1 million. So he's telling me that truck is going to get the same fuel mileage as a new Freightliner. It ain't going to happen, man. It ain't going to happen. It is the truck. Like, I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I had my last Cascadia, it wasn't an Evolution. And it had a 10-speed in it. And that truck, I averaged ballpark, and it had an APU on it. This truck doesn't have an APU. That truck, I ballpark, like lifetime average was about between 7.5, somewhere in there. It was consistently like, if it was a heavy load, it might go down to like 6.8, 6.9, but on your average, it never really got above like 7.5. And that was going the same speed I go in this truck. So I had a friend at the time that was training at Prime, and my last Cascadia was a 2013 DD15 10 speed, auto shift 10 speed. And my friend was at Prime, and they had a 2018 brand new, and given and another thing, my last Cascadia had 800,000 miles on it at this time. So, you know, just to give you a comparison on, like, not even just my trucks, but so my last truck, 2013 Cascadia, DD15 10-speed auto shift. It had like 308 rears in it, I believe is what it had, or it was like right at 3. It was somewhere in that ballpark. Might have been like 294s. Might have been 294s. I think it had 294s, or it had 308s, and I replaced them with 294s because I replaced the rear ends in that truck. And I didn't go back with what it had. It was just a little off. I got a deal on it to go a little off. You know what I mean? Like, to replace it with 308s, it was like, 8,500. To replace it with 294s, it was like, 7,800. So, but anyway, this last truck, that's what it was. And it had 800,000 miles on it. And I got a friend training over at Prime, and they're in a 2018, like 200,000 miles on it, almost brand new truck. This was about a year and a half ago. Maybe not even 200,000 on it. I mean, like a brand new, Cascadia set up, like you want them. Evolution, the whole nine. And, they're pulling an aerodynamic trailer all the time. They got the super singles on there. I mean, that truck is built to just glide through the wind and down the road. And he's telling me that they're averaging 9 miles a gallon in that truck. And he's telling me this, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I've got a Cascadia, and I'm like low 7s, and he's telling me, he's like, well, I'm just, like, he's got no reason to lie to me. Like, I trust the guy, and he's like, yeah, I mean, we're getting 9 miles a gallon, and I'm like, well, is that like on pen and paper, or is that on the dash, or? And he's like, that's on both. Like, he's like, because he was going to be a lease operator there, and he was in training at the time. So he was trying to, he was doing all the numbers like you should do, figure out all your cost and everything. And actually, he did the numbers and actually ended up quitting Prime after he did the numbers. So kudos to him for that. Yeah, now he's doing local work, so much happier. But so what I'm saying is, it is the truck, because I'm sitting there in a 2013 Cascadia, telling him, well, I'm doing good to get to 7.5, and they're sitting there, they're not even trying, and they're getting 9 miles a gallon. So, and that's like, they were running through Pennsylvania, they went out west, like heavy loads, medium loads, deadhead, like average 9 miles a gallon. So you got to think about that. Appreciate it, Anthony Drummond. Appreciate that. $9.99 from Anthony Drummond. Appreciate that, man. You don't have to do that, but it is appreciated. Don says, it's small on the pedal. It's all on the pedal. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it really is. Like, number one, my opinion, it's the truck more than anything. If you don't have the right setup, you're not going to get optimal fuel mileage. And honestly, when I got this truck, I bought this truck based on what he was telling me from the Prime thing, and I started doing some research on evolutions versus just regular DD15, Cascadias versus evolutions. you're looking at Freightliner claims 5% more fuel efficient, or maybe it's 5% better aerodynamics. I got to question that now, so don't quote me on that. But I mean, you look at an Evolution and you see things that are not on the regular Cascadia that you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I could see that making a huge difference. Like the front axle in this truck on the Evolution, it has an arrow, like it has like an arrow thing on the front axle, like an air down to push the air down under the axle. There's just little things, and so that's why I started researching these trucks, was mainly because of that. Because honestly, I wasn't going to go with another Cascadia, but I was renting from PACCAR. I did that 579, and that thing, to me, I don't know. I wasn't impressed with the 579, and I'm just like, there's two big fleets out here that are switching over to Freightliner, and this ain't a Freightliner commercial. Get whatever kind of truck you want. I'm just saying that I've noticed two big fleets, and I'm sure there's fleets that are switching out of Freightliner, but the two I've noticed here lately that never, ever I've seen drive anything other than what they normally run is, number one, Melton. Y'all know Melton, the blue trucks, flatbed. I've never seen them run anything but Kenworth. I've seen two Melton trucks this past week that are both Freightliner. So, because my thought, when my friend told me, when he told me, hey, we're averaging like 9 miles a gallon here. And he was telling me, like, hey, when we run empty at like 62 miles an hour, we're getting like 12, 13, 14, sometimes 15 miles per gallon, like, over like 100-mile stretch, not just because we're going down a hill that's 5 miles long. And I was like, it really got me thinking. So, Melton is switching out to Freightliners. I've seen a couple of those. And earlier today, Magnum, the Reefer company from up here, I think they're out of Fargo. I'm in North Dakota right now, by the way. That's why I keep saying up here. Magnum out of Fargo. They're switching to Freightliners. Some of them, and they run nothing but those 579 Peterbilts. I've never seen any truck for either one of those companies other than a PACCAR product. And this week I've seen both switching to Freightliner. So, I mean, you do what you want, but I'm just saying, like, your truck makes the biggest difference for your operation than about anything you can do. It's like I said, you can't say it's not the truck. It most certainly is the truck, because I can go get a stretched out W900 with all the bells and whistles, all the chicken lights, all the good stuff on it, and it's just gonna be night and day versus a new Freightliner. It really is. As far as fuel mileage, it's probably gonna be night and day in other reasons too, but we're talking about fuel mileage here. So that's a big deal, and then how you run it is also a big deal. Like, you can't run a truck at 80 mile an hour, 75, 70, whatever. Like, you just can't run them that fast and expect really good fuel mileage. I had a guy tell me one time he was running like 70, 72, something like that. He was leased on the same company I was. And he said he ran fast to keep his momentum up for the hills, and he got better fuel mileage doing that. And I was just like, I don't know if it works like that. I mean, yeah, momentum for a hill definitely helps, but running 70 miles an hour everywhere you're going is probably bringing you down more than it's helping you. Now, don't get me wrong. I get a little push going on the, hills. Oh, I think my service guy's here, guys. I may have to hop off here. Driving by Braille says I'm getting 8.9. Yeah. Anthony Drummond says, LOL, it's payday UPS. Keep the rubber to the road. Good deal. Driving by Brill. Coasting downhill helps. Yeah, no doubt. Hang on a second, guys. Hang tight with me 1 minute.
When you get a few minutes, could you come up front and we'll get you set up to get looked at here?
Okay.
All right.
I'll be right in.
All right, thanks.
Yep. All right, guys, I gotta go. Gotta get this freaking Thermo King service. Let's see what that entails. But anyway, I appreciate everybody coming in. We'll continue the conversation maybe a little later today. I may jump back on. Just depends. I got to get this done now. I really want to get to this load. But everybody stay safe out there. Take care of one another. And appreciate everybody coming in. Later, guys.